Welcome to our video lesson on all four operations with integers. In this video, we're going to talk about each operation and how to complete it with positive and negative numbers. The hope is at the end, you can kind of see the big picture of how it all works together. All right, we're going to start with the first thing we talked about, adding. Our rules for adding integers. It has to do with the sign. If they have the same sign, first you're going to add, and then you're going to keep the sign. Remember, if they have the same sign, they're friends. Please make sure you're writing this down in your guided note. Okay, let's look down here at our examples. We're looking for two numbers that have the same sign. Well, down here, this one has the same, and this one has the same. They're both negative. So this rule we're going to do with this problem. We need to add their numbers together, so we're going to add 19. Add 19 plus 28. 8 plus 9 is 17. 2 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. So our sum, our number, will be 47. Now, we have to figure out if it's positive or negative, and our rule is that we keep the sign. So we're going to keep the negative sign because both of these are negative. So our answer is negative 47. All right, let's look at the next set. What if our signs aren't the same? If there's different signs, it's like they're at war. They're very unhappy with each other. We need to see who's going to win. So we're going to subtract our bigger number minus our smaller number. So if we look in our table, here they're different signs. Our 35 is positive and our 43 is negative. So we're going to subtract the bigger number minus the smaller number. So we'll do 43 minus 35. We can't do 3 minus 5, so we're going to borrow from the 4. That becomes a 3. And we have 13 minus 5, which is 8. So I know our number answer is 8. Then for the sign, we need to take the sign of the bigger number because it's further from 0 and we'll end up being left on that side of the number line. Now 43 is bigger than our 35, so our answer is going to be negative 8. Okay, that's for adding integers. Now let's look at the next one, which is subtracting integers. And subtracting and adding are related. Our rule for subtracting integers is that you add the opposite. Instead of subtracting. We're just going to add the opposite. So you're going to keep, change it, and then follow our rules for the addition. All right, let's do it. So for our first one, we have negative 33 minus 23. Well, I'm going to add the opposite, so that's equal to 33 plus, because I've changed my subtraction to addition and I take the opposite of 23, so it'll be plus negative 23. Okay, now I look at my rules for adding. These have the same sign. They're both negative. So that means they are friends, and we're going to add the numbers together and keep the sign. So I know my answer will be negative, because it's all negative. Now I need to add them. 33 plus 23. 3 plus 3 is 6, and 3 plus 2 is 5. So my sum, or my difference, is going to be negative 56. Let's do another example. Here I have 19 minus negative 24. I'm going to add the opposite, or keep, change it. So keep my first number the same, change this to addition, and change negative 24 to its opposite, which is positive 24. Now this problem you guys all know how to do. You've been doing this one for a long time. If you look at this, whenever I see two negative signs together like this, I always just think, okay, it's addition, because they're canceling each other out. Our two negatives minus a negative is really adding. I don't know if that helps you, but it might help. Now I'm going to add 19 plus 24. 9 plus 4 is 13. 2 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. So my difference in this case is 43. All right, next we're going to look at multiplication and division. And as you know, the nice thing about multiplication and division is they have the same rules. You multiply or divide like normal, just like you've been doing for years. Then you need to figure out the sign. if we have an even number of negatives. Remember when we have two negatives together, they make each other feel better, they cancel each other out, or you move from one side on the number line, you switch back to the other side. So if we have two negatives or an even number of negatives, our answer is going to be a positive. If we have an odd number of negatives, our answer will be a negative. So let's do the first one. Here we have multiplication. Remember, I don't need to put that multiplication symbol anymore. I could just put the parentheses like this, and it means the same thing. So I multiply like normal. What's 11 times 8? That's 88. Oh. 11 times 8 is 88. Now we've done step 1, multiply or divide like normal, and we just need to figure out our sign. All right, in our question, I see that we have one negative sign. And I know 1 is an odd number, so we don't have any other negative to make that negative feel better. So our answer is going to be negative. All right, let's do the next one. Here I have 9 times 5, and 9 times 5 is 45. Now I count the number of negatives I have. I have 1, 2, and 2 is an even number, so that means that my answer is going to be positive. So my answer for negative 9 times negative 5 is 45. Now division. First we divide like normal. 72 divided by 8 is 9. And now I look how many negatives I have. I have 1, 2. That's an even number, so it's going to be a positive answer of 9. Next one. 38 divided by negative 8. So first 32, not 38. Now I do 32 divided by 8, that gives me 4. And I count how many negatives I have. I have 1 negative. So I know that's an odd number of negatives. There's no one to make that negative feel better. And so my answer is negative 4. All right. Now let's look at all of these together as a whole. As a group, the nice thing is that adding and subtracting are related. To subtract, we're going to add the opposite. So if you can remember the rules for adding and remember how to change your subtraction sign or your subtraction question into an addition question, you're all okay for adding and subtracting. Then multiplying and dividing are the same as well. And so that means that really all you need to remember are the rules for multiplying and dividing and the rules for adding. I hope this helps you see the bigger picture, and please make sure you have all of this written down in your guided note. If you need any help, please let me know. I'm here to help you. That's all for now, and I'll talk to you later.